Hi, my name is Sky, this is my channel, Nettle Books. So today I thought I would start my kind of vlog series where I read a book. Amazing, really. Generally, it will be a larger book. I think this will be a really good format to share my thoughts and opinions on a book, and kind of like a different way to do a review really, and to see how I feel about a book, because I tend to have lots of thoughts about a book when I read through them, and at the end of the book I then try to bring all that together, and it can be quite difficult, especially when I don't know. Anyway, rambling. The book I have chosen to read is a historical fiction kind of fantasy book. It's by Guy Gavriel Kay. I have not read any of this author, but basically all of his books are on my TBR, and I'm really excited to actually sit down and read one, and it is A Song for Arbonne, and I'm reading it on my Kindle. So yeah, I don't really know much else about this book. Hopefully by the time you see this video I will have lots of updates. So I finally started reading A Song for Arbonne. I filmed my introduction to this video almost a week ago now. I've just been quite unwell, and I have been listening to my audiobook of Dark for about 3 days straight, and I'm actually loving it. But I have started this, and I think what I'm going to do is, the book is split into 4 sections, so for every section I will just do an update after I read that section, because I think that is what will work best for me. The sections are Spring, Midsummer, Autumn and Winter. The novel is based on troubadour culture. It was prominent around about the high medieval times, but I don't know much about that, but it's very prominent in one of the countries we're focusing on, which is Arbonne, and so they love their bards and their troubadours and their singers. Arbonne is very female dominated in the sense that not only do they worship Coranos, who is the male god, they also worship Brienne, who is the female goddess, and I think they are a lot more partial to Rianne. We read a lot more about her. But then we also have the country of Gorhat up north, and that is a direct contrast to Arbonne in the south. Gorhat, they only worship Kranos in a very militant way. They do not respect their women. We are following a character named Blaze, and he is from the north. His father is relatively prominent in Gorhat, and he is now working for a prominent lord in the south who is a troubadour himself, and this lord has a blood feud with another lord in Arbonne over some long lost love. So that's kind of setting up the story, and it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. The prologue was amazing. I usually don't like prologues. I think a lot of the time authors don't use them correctly, and a lot of the time they're unnecessary, but this was used correct. This was amazing. Prologue is set 20 years from the past, from what we're currently reading. It's also an amazing introduction to Guy Gavriel Kay's writing style. You see some of the poetic bard lines in this too, and it's actually really moving, and I'm so excited to go back once I read the book and read the prologue again to see how it all connects, because with every chapter I read I understand more about the characters in the prologue, and I feel so much more connected to them, and it's just such a good feeling. I am loving this book. I am loving this book. I'm reading this on my Kindle, and my Kindle tells me after reading Spring I am only 20% of the way through the book, and we have already had sex, passion, combat. We've seen a lot of the religion with the goddess and kind of what that means, and we've also seen this ancient religion, and we've also seen, so yeah, combat, we've seen politics, we've seen a little bit of the mystery starting to unravel. There's so many characters in this book, and Guy Gavriel Kay introduces you to each of these characters very slowly and repeats the names a lot so you don't feel overwhelmed, and I love that. And I find his writing also is just so poetic, and he has such an amazing vocabulary as well. I'm hoping to see a lot more of this kind of the history of this romance and where this feud came from as well, and I'm hoping to see a little bit more conflict between the two nations. The last thing I really want to quickly say is I've only read a fifth of the way through this book, and already I feel so connected to these characters. In the last chapter of Spring, one of these lords was talking about a woman he lost, and I was so moved, and already I feel so connected, so invested in these characters, and I am loving this book. Should be back very soon. So I have just finished reading the Midsummer section of Song for Arbonne. I'm still loving it. It's really late up night, and I think I'm actually going to stay up late and read into Autumn because I'm really enjoying it. At the start of the Midsummer section, one of the characters we're introduced to says that anything can happen in Midsummer, and anything does happen. There are so many twists and turns in this chapter. I'm really enjoying this book still. I'm still so invested in the characters. I'm probably going to stay up really late and maybe I might finish Autumn tonight even though it's quite early in the morning. I think as well I'm going to give you a quick look at my bedroom because this is where I usually read, and I usually do read in the evening, and it's quite cosy right now, so I will probably show you that. I've got my Christmas cookie candle on, so yeah, it's quite cosy right now, and I'm just going to settle down and finish reading the rest of my book. So I have just finished the autumn section, and safe to say I'm still loving it. Especially one of the main characters, Blaze. He reminds me a lot of one of my favourite characters from the Wheel of Time series, Matt, in the sense that they're both lovable roles, and also they're both being kind of reluctantly pushed into these destinies they don't want but they kind of know they have to accept. So I'm really enjoying that. Also, there's been a lot of reunions in this section and that warms my wee bones. Quickly I'll say that the length of this book and how well developed the world and the characters are compared to long sagas, it really stands up against them, and this is just really amazing writing. I will be really sad to see these characters go. I kind of want it to be a series, but then I did want to read this book because it was standalone, but I will definitely be reading more of Guy Gabriel Kay's work. He's an amazing writer, he deserves the credit he gets. I do not think Winter will disappoint. So I have now finished A Song for Arbonne, the winter section, and I am just in awe of the entire story really. It was such a beautiful and fitting and unique and chilling ending. A great conclusion to the story, and it was also so poetically beautiful, and I just didn't see it coming either, a lot of the twists and turns, and the last paragraph was absolutely beautiful and I really didn't expect it to tie up like it did, but it was perfect. The whole of the winter section was so chilling, but at the same time the ending was just so comforting. It was like coming in after a cold day outside and having a cup of tea and putting your feet up, and I really loved this book. I really loved the characters. The characters are so strong. I know they're going to stay with me for a long time, and I really loved this book. I absolutely adored the story. I think it's probably going to be one of my favourite books of all time. And I am absolutely certain that this story is just going to frequent my thoughts for quite a while now, if not longer. So that is the end of my vlog kind of video. I'm still finding my feet here on BookTube, and I'm trying out new things for myself to see what I like and what I don't like. Please do let me know if you like this format of video, and also if you have any comments on the book, if you've read it, or any thoughts you have, whatever really. So thank you so much for watching my video, especially if you did make it to the end, and I will see you in my next video.